Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we dive into a story that is as ironic as it is dramatic. Russia accusing Finland of invasion plans. A claim that has not only surprised the international community, but also highlighted how narratives can be twisted in geopolitics. When you look at the exterior of this situation, it seems like a complete reversal of reality. Russia, which has historically been seen as the aggressor in conflicts with its neighbors, is now painting Finland as the aggressor, accusing it of preparing an invasion plan. The exterior here is the big picture: two countries that share a long border, two nations with vastly different positions in today's security landscape, and one making accusations that sound like a deliberate attempt to shift attention. Russia claims that Finland is moving closer to NATO, strengthening its defenses and preparing for offensive operations. But if you dig deeper into the exterior, what you see is a country, Finland, that has been strengthening its security only in response to Russia's aggressive war in Ukraine and its long history of pressuring neighbors. The irony is thick, because the very actions Russia takes, stationing troops, moving weapons near borders, conducting military drills, are now being reframed by them as Finnish aggression. The exterior, in essence, is the stage of accusation, propaganda, and international posturing. When we move to the interior, it is more personal and closer to the ground. Inside Finland, ordinary people are watching this unfold with disbelief. For decades, Finland has walked a careful line with Russia, maintaining neutrality, building trade, and ensuring peace along their 300-kilometer border. But inside their political debates, especially since the war in Ukraine began, the consensus has shifted firmly in favor of national security and defense. Joining NATO was an interior decision, born from the Finnish people's desire to ensure safety. And yet, Russia interprets this interior mindset as preparation for invasion. Inside Russia, meanwhile, state-controlled media has been amplifying the narrative, painting Finland as a puppet of NATO, while ordinary Russians are left questioning why a peaceful neighbor would even consider such moves. The interior is short and sharp. Inside Finland, it's about self-defense. Inside Russia, it's about controlling public opinion. Performance comes next, and here is where things get interesting. Russia's performance on the global stage is a performance of victimhood. Despite being a superpower with massive military capabilities, it performs as though it is under threat from much smaller neighbors. This performance is intentional, crafted to win sympathy domestically and justify military buildup. Finland's performance, on the other hand, is steady, calm, and pragmatic. It performs its role as a responsible member of the international community, communicating clearly that its policies are defensive, not offensive. When Finland boosted defense spending, modernized its air force, and trained its reserves, it was performing a strategy of deterrence, not provocation. Yet, Russia interprets every Finnish step as aggressive performance, reshaping perception for its domestic audience. The performance of these two sides could not be more different. One rooted in reality, the other in theater. Safety features in this analogy refer to the mechanisms each side is putting in place to ensure survival. For Finland, safety features include NATO membership, advanced surveillance systems, the procurement of F-35 fighter jets, and the strengthening of territorial defense. These safety features are not tools of aggression, but rather shields against the possibility of Russian hostility. Russia's safety features, on the other hand, are framed as massive mobilization, nuclear posturing, and rhetoric that suggests everyone is a threat. The irony, again, is that Finland's safety features are interpreted as offensive weapons, while Russia's aggressive safety features are downplayed domestically as necessary for national survival. The safety narrative is turned upside down, but in truth, Finland is merely safeguarding its people and its sovereignty. Unique selling points of this situation lie in the irony itself. The first unique point is that Finland, a country with one of the strongest traditions of neutrality, is accused of preparing invasion. This flips history on its head. The second unique point is the speed at which Finland's security policies have transformed since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Within months, Finland abandoned decades of neutrality and joined NATO, something that was unthinkable a few years ago. This bold transformation is unique in modern European politics. The third unique point is the symbolic power of Russia's accusation. It reveals Russia's insecurity and its need to construct external threats in order to maintain internal control. Each unique selling point tells us something deeper, that narratives in geopolitics are not just about facts, but about how facts are presented, distorted, and weaponized. The price, in this context, is what both nations have to pay. For Finland, the price of security has been high billions spent on defense upgrades, the political costs of leaving neutrality behind, and the possibility of being targeted by Russian propaganda and cyber attacks. But Finland sees this price as worth paying for sovereignty and long-term safety. For Russia, the price is reputational damage. By accusing a peaceful neighbor of invasion plans, Russia undermines its credibility even further. The international community views these accusations as absurd, yet Russia is willing to pay that price because it believes domestic control matters more than global reputation. The price is also the risk of escalation, because when accusations are made repeatedly, they can justify aggressive actions in the future. Both nations are paying, but the scale and reason differ dramatically. In conclusion, the irony of Russia accusing Finland of invasion plans is not just about a single accusation. It is about the broader story of how narratives are manipulated in global politics. The exterior shows us the grand drama of two nations exchanging accusations. The interior reveals the personal feelings and decisions inside both societies. The performance highlights the theater of victimhood versus responsibility. The safety features show us the contrast between defensive shields and aggressive postures. The unique selling points expose the unusual twists of history and perception. The price explains the real costs both sides must bear, and the conclusion is clear. Finland is not preparing to invade Russia, it is preparing to defend itself. Russia's accusations are a mirror turned upside down, projecting its own insecurities onto its neighbor, and the world is watching, aware that in the theater of geopolitics, irony often becomes the headline. This entire episode is a reminder that security decisions are never made in isolation. Finland's NATO membership, its investment in modern defense, and its determination to stand strong are all responses to Russia's actions, not provocations of their own. The accusation of invasion plans is less about Finland and more about Russia's need to justify its world. It shows us that the tools of war today are not only tanks and missiles, but also words, propaganda, and accusations. The real invasion is not Finland preparing to enter Russia, but Russia trying to invade global perception, and that perhaps is the greatest irony of all.